welcome to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League, broadcasting from Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight, we are going to be moving our way through the upper brackets as the Esports Tower Rumble continues onward to see which of the teams, Classic Wolves, Lynx, Barracudas, and Stingrays, or if our new challenger from Bryan Center High School is going to be able to unseat all the Esports Tower teams. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer, joined by Michael Fisher, calling all of the action for you tonight. And Fish, why don't you lay out the general picture that we have going on and what kind of talent field that we have? Because we often see Esports Tower teams, but it's not always, it's a little uncommon when we see high school teams.
Yeah, the high school team's kind of going to be that wild card. Bryan Center, I've been told by the coaches, they've got a lot of individual talent. They can sometimes play with a lot of speed. They like to pick you apart, so it'll be kind of fun to watch that. On the Esports Tower side, we kind of got all over the place. We've got a couple of kids who made those big names, big splashes in our Summer Invitational a few months ago. You've got Adrift, you've got Nano, you've got Greed. We've got a couple of players who've been making, and Torque as well. We got a couple of players who've been making names lately. State, Sicko, Spook, Kuda. There's a lot of stacked lineups here. Bryan Center, they got their work cut out for them if they want to contend against our Esports Tower teams here.
And in fact, Bryan Center is going to kind of have to earn their right to be in the normal bracket, if you would, here, because they're kind of normally we have these brackets with 4 teams, but with this 5 teams, we have to have Bryan Center kind of do a qualifying match, if you will, to get into the semifinals of the upper bracket.
Yeah, I believe all the teams were randomly seeded. As you said, Bryan Center got to play a play-in game as you bet. Hey, it's double elimination, so if they do fall in their first game against the Stingrays, they always have that lower bracket next week to be able to make a run and maybe claim the Rumble title next week. They're not out of it by a long shot just because they got to play one extra game.
Well, as we get ready to start the first match, we want to remind our friends on Twitch to support your team, celebrate their successes, but be respectful to other fans, because mods will move anyone who violates chat rules. And if these players want to get far in the upper brackets, not drop out too early in this tournament, they are going to have to follow Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League. And those keys to the game for us today are to create mistakes, punish overcommits, play off the walls better, and demo to disrupt your opponents. Brought to you by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched up with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. We kick off our Rumble with our first matchup of the upper quarterfinals between the Stingrays and Bryan Center High. So we'll see how this wild card you were talking about, Fish, stacks up against the competition as we're ready to start off this week's Rumble. Let's head down to the field and see what these competitors have to offer in Game 1 of our upper quarters finals.
This will be a really good test here. I think these opening minutes going to be a great way for Bryan Center to kind of prove who they are. As Greed wins the kickoff off the crossbar, nearly scores right away. Spectral able to get a bit of a clear. Nano there off the wall, looking to redirect it, but no teammate. Bit of a triple commit in the net, but Bryan Center now able to be on the offense.
Spectral is going to try to use a little bit of a flip to get it into the net, but Nano has it covered pretty darn well. Tony is going to try to set it up. A commit also from Spectral, but he's going to whiff on that shot, and that's going to send the ball back toward midfield. Bryan Center is trying to stop it, but Greed is going to slow play it off the wall toward Nano, but the pass is missed.
Not Sicko missing on that one, but Greed able to recover nicely. Spectral going to pop it up in the air. Kanura retreating. Can't quite get to the ball. Greed gets it past him, but Tony is back there. He'll play it off the wall. One touch, a second touch centering it, but Nano gets it back onto that blue side where the Stingrays looking for their first goal of game number 1.
Greed leaving it for Not Sicko. Not Sicko is going to pelt a shot toward the goal, try to waterfall it in, and just plays around the goalie. 1-on-1, first goal for the Stingrays.
That's a great goal by Not Sicko, kind of keeping it up in the air. Nothing Bryan Center could do, and off the kickoff now, the Stingrays looking to add to their total. Not Sicko there once again. Greed nearly had it on the rebound. Nano coming in, but Spectral with a great contest on that 50, able to keep it away from his own net. Greed actually got the touch on it, and he scores the goal.
Stingrays off to a pretty darn good start. 3 minutes, 41 seconds left. 2-0 lead, so one insurance goal. Bounces off the corner. Greed is going to have to corral it in the corner, going up against Kanura. Not Sicko and both Nano are slow playing this, waiting. Not Sicko Gonna pass it to Nano, back over to Greed in the mid, and three players, but it's not gonna turn into a goal. All three of them working towards that shot on goal, saved by Bryan Center.
Oh, not Sicko, dribbling it up. And he ends up just pushing it past Kanura. Thought maybe he'd make the save, but now it's 3-0 Stingrays here in game number 1.
Next kickoff, Greed gets the tap on that first, so it's going to head over toward Bryan Center. Nano quickly following that up. And a demo onto Tony in midfield. And leave Bryan Center even more thin on terms of defense. Greed pushes it off to the far corner, and now plays it off the rebound, almost getting a goal, but Spectral barely managing to find a save.
That was a fantastic save by Spectral. Gets a great challenge on the Nano as well to save another goal. Now Nano in the corner. Pass back to Notsicko, who passes it back to Greed. And now it looks like he'll give another tap to it. Greed going to launch it up. Nano going to play the rebound. Can't quite find it. Greed gets run into by Spectral. Byron Center's defense here shoring up a little bit in our final first half. As I say that, of course, ball goes in the net and it's 4-0.
At this point, it would have to be a non-stop rally from Bryan Center if they wanted to be able to bring themselves back into this game. But normally from a 4-goal lead, that is a very tall task to meet. Greed whiffing on that shot, heads back to Nano in mid. Tony moving back up to get a bit of side control. And he's going to drive it in all himself. And Bryan Center not quite out of it yet.
Yeah, even though they're down 3 goals, there's still over 2 minutes left. That is plenty of time in Rocket League. Usually about 30 seconds a goal is a safe place to be, so they've even got some change left over to maybe take the lead. But right now they got to slow down the Stingrays' attack as Greed has the ball right in front of the net. Nano going to whip around, try and chip it in, but it's just wide. Notsicko is waiting. Smartly going to make sure he doesn't overcommit, not going to allow another goal for Bryan Center. As he tries to get over to Nano, just quite goes over the ball, so Spectral able to clear it away and relieve some pressure.
Shot up and to the left. Spectral now having to face off against 3, passes it to Kanura, follow up from Tony, and it's just a bit too high. It goes right into the backboard. This gives Sicko the opportunity to try to lob it into the goal. Kanura is going to stop it just in front, and Tony with a forceful shove is going to push it back into the corner.
Now Bryan Center starting to run out of time. Oh, Spectral had it, but just couldn't quite connect. Kanura going to try and keep it alive. Trying to get it to Spectral, but that pass is intercepted. Nano and Greed trying to combine there for a team hit, but it didn't quite work out like they were hoping. Nano going to pass it back. 60 seconds left in game 1. This one looks like it's all Stingrays. As Sicko misses the insurance goal, ends up kind of falling on it and saving that one. And now it's a wide open net if Bryan Center could get back in time. As Greed nearly puts it in on his own net, and they actually end up scoring off that.
And so much time has elapsed to get that goal. Bryan Center having less than 30 seconds per goal, so something's going to need to happen off of a kickoff or a quick goal, or no insurance goal like that scored by the Stingrays. I think that's the final straw.
Yeah, that'll pretty much do it for game 1. Maybe you score a kickoff goal. Maybe you've got a chance here, but they definitely got to score quickly as Kanura just misses on it. Tony and Spectral end up running into each other. And that will probably kill that possession as Sicko trying to dribble it away. Greed going to bump Spectral out of the way. And then taking himself over to the blue side. Get it past a couple. And Nano actually, unfortunately, ran out of boost and saved that ball.
13 seconds left. Stingrays on their way to a victory. Double commit on that save from Bryan Center. At this point, though, none of it's going to make that much of a difference. The score looks like it's going to be set 5, possibly 6-2, and that is indeed going to be the case. They're going to get one extra little goal as celebration, ending the first game 6-2.
That's a fantastic effort by the Stingrays here in game number 1 of the quarterfinals. I mean, we talked that, Bryan Center had to play that extra playing game. Well, so did the Stingrays as well, and they did not disappoint. This team looking really strong. I mean, when a player like Nano only has an assist, doesn't have any goals, doesn't have any shots, that's when you know your team is functioning on all cylinders, because Nano is an absolute beast as a goal scorer, and they didn't even need him that game.
And the one thing about both teams that really stuck out to me is there was a lot of passing kind of in the first half. A lot of passes missed. It seemed like the coordination wasn't quite setting in for both teams, but it sort of evened out as things went on. I just think Bryan Center, they were the ones that ultimately paid for it a little bit more in the first half, and they had faced such a huge goal deficit that when they did start to make plays, it was just too late.
Yeah, Bryan Center, I mean, a lot of double commits, a lot of triple commits in the net that they definitely have to work on, that we're just allowing opportunity after opportunity. But it is a best of 5 in this Esports Tower Rumble for this upper quarterfinal, so they've got plenty of time to fix those mistakes. A game 1 loss, not as detrimental as we hop into game number 2. Let's see who comes out on top here.
Everyone's ready to load into the field. And here we go. First kickoff in favor. Oh, Bryan Center didn't get to the ball first, but they were able to have a nice rebound to contest it somewhat, but it's ultimately going to mean still be a defensive play for them. A double commit on that clear, not necessarily what they want to see, and Greed's just going to take it away from them, try to drive it around the corner, dunk it down into the goal, and Kanura credited with the save, but shaky start for Bryan Center, but they're going to be the ones with the lead.
Yeah, overcommit by the Stingrays there. Spectral takes advantage, and Bryan Center finds himself in the lead for the first time this series, and that's huge, especially coming off that game 1 loss. Tony, nice little play there, gets it around 1. Not Sicko is able to get a great touch on it. Kanura gets it right back to midfield, but he loses all his momentum, and him and Tony miscommunicate. The ball's just bouncing around in no man's land. Finally, Greed takes it, trying to dribble it in on net, and woo! What a goal for Greed there.
Yep, it seemed that initial fluke there on the coordination really cost them. They weren't able to really recover after that. So now just one dribble up the field, and we have got the game reset, essentially, 1-1. 4 minutes left. Nano's trying to come in to take it away from Bryan Center, but isn't going to be successful in that. Greed's trying to set it up. It's going to head back over towards center, where not Sicko and Nano are going to take control of it. Nano to try to redirect it down into the goal, and it's going to do it barely with the help from Greed.
That's what I'm telling you, when you don't need Nano to be making plays like they had in game 1, because we just saw what he can do there with Greed and the finisher, this Stingrays team absolutely loaded with talent. 2-1 right now. Nano going to try and get this ball. Spectral with a nice intercept, though. Going to play it right in front of the net. But Greed just barely wins that pass. Not Sicko. Great pass down to Nano. Going to pop it up in the air. Ooh, the ball had a lot of speed. I think it caught the Stingrays off guard. We're not able to play the rebound like they wanted.
Tony might have a breakaway shot here. He's trying to beat Nano to the punch. Nano still managing to get a tap on it, and that's going to be turning into a save. Not Sicko now waiting for his next play. Greed might set it up for him, actually waiting for Spectral to make the shot. He's going to rotate back and now be able to take the ball for himself.
Ooh, nice shot from Tony there, but not Sicko. Able to get a great clear. Nano with one touch on it. Kanura not quite able to make the save. Not Sicko. Thank the bus driver for that one. What a great shot. And it's 3-1.
Always nice to see a goal done in style. Bringing out the battle bus for that one. Seeing the non-meta cars. I love it.
I still can't go over the golden pigeon head on Greed's car. I don't know how you can play with a straight face with that car on. I'm trying to hold back my laughter every time we get Greed's POV as Spectral gets bumped off the ball by Sicko. Spectral gets back on it, gets around 1, gets around 2. But unfortunately, that ball was just wide of the net. That was a great little play, though.
Kanura with one shot. Not Sicko waiting for the plays. Now going to move up with Greed, who gets stopped in midfield. Not Sicko has to do a U-turn. Moving it around the corner, but Tony beats him to it. Greed takes the ball, but it's really not set up for anybody, so either he or Not Sicko's going to have to rotate in. It's going to be Not Sicko. Pushes it past midfield. Around 1, it's set up for a goal. Nano, seemed like he was playing a game of chicken with Tony there and just didn't move in for the shot.
Yeah, Greed was there as well. Neither of them wanted to overcommit as we got a great clear. Tony and Spectral going to collide, but they'll get that ball out of harm's way for now. Nano with a nice lob once again in front of the net. Somebody, anybody. Kanura makes the save. The Stingrays have been so close now 3 times to more goals, but they cannot find another one, and they'll have to play some defense here.
Shot placed off the backboard. Greed chasing after it. Nano unable to get control. Still in the Stingrays half. Kanura plays it past Not Sicko. Wide open net, and it's scored on by Tony.
That's a great little goal. Bryan Center's done a great job just hanging around this game. They haven't let it get out of hand like they did in game 1. They're only 1 goal down with 90 seconds left. They've survived a couple of nail-biting goals on their end. They've got a chance to maybe steal this game 2 away from the Stingrays if they can find one more goal here. Because right now they need to play more great defense. Nano and Greed end up running into each other. One of the few mistakes we've seen the Stingrays make. Will they be able to recover? Kanura takes a shot, but he hits the crossbar. That would have been perfect.
Spectral moving it back. Greed with a shot over toward the corner. Off to Nano. Gain control. Still haven't been able to find a clear. In fact, Nano unable to find the clear there as Brian Center just gets right up in his face. And setting it up off the backboard. Greed is the one to gain control of it. Push it off to the corner. Now he's going to start the dribble, playing it around Tony. Nano also moving up the goal, but, oh man, the angle just isn't there. It's too shallow.
Only 30 seconds left for Brian Center. Can they find this game-tying goal and get us to overtime? Kanura going to be able to get possession in the orange half, but Greed will turn that one away, and they've got to find one good shot here. Spectral can't quite get it. Greed going to find a clear. Nano almost had the redirect to seal this game number 2, but he couldn't find it. And the Stingrays playing defensive, just burning time at this point with the ball in the corner. Nano just playing keep away, and he perfectly plays that so the ball doesn't go off the ground. And it was close to the game 1, but still a Stingrays victory nonetheless.
Yeah, but maybe a little bit of a closer victory than they would have liked. They set up a lot of great opportunities for themselves. It's just when it came through and following on those shots on goal, they weren't able to get it. I mean, I know their mascot's a Stingray, but it might as well be a Bronco because much like the Denver Broncos, it seems they're allergic in the red zone, just can't make the play when they're actually in the area.
Yeah, that is a great analogy because also their defense was absolutely stout. I mean, you mentioned they couldn't get clears, but how many shots did Brian Center even have? Maybe 3 on 2 goals. They absolutely choked them out. You know, again, maybe you just need 3 goals if you're the Stingrays. As you said, the offense anemic in game 2. Can they turn it around in game 3 and make it a little bit less of a nail biter? Does Brian Center maybe have the reverse sweep vibe starting up here? Upper quarterfinals, Stingrays, Byron Center. Stingrays look for the sweep as we get ready to kick off game number 3 between these two squads.
I don't know. I'm just going to say you need to let Nano cook, or Greed, or Sick. I don't know who's the chef here, but someone needs to step up.
I don't know if any of these players want to be the Russell Wilson comparison based on how he's been playing this year. As Greed gets a great touch. Not quite able to find it, though. Nano going to center it up. Oh, Greed was right there, but he wasn't quite able to get there in time.
Oh, Spectral with a clear that looked like it was probably going to be a shot on the goal, but instead it goes off to the far corner. Oh, Greed messes up on that 50-50 against Chone. It's still right on the near post for the Stingrays. They're going to be able to get out of that sticky situation.
Once again, some great defense, really just limiting Byron Center's opportunities on the net. Tony going to come up, going to try and make a play. Nano going to bump him off the ball, and that should allow Sicko to look for a clear. He gets it around 1. Can he get around another? Yes, he can. It's only Spectral who, the last line of defense, makes a great little save here.
Spectral with the pinch off the wall is going to send it over to the corner. He's now trying to set it up for himself. Play off his own. Not Sicko and Greed have that goal well covered. Tony is going to try to push it off to the side of Not Sicko, get the control back in favor of Brian Center, but Banana was able to read the play. Now Not Sicko going up against Chone is going to place it past him. That's going to be a successful clear. Set up off the backboard. Is there a follow-up? There is from Not Sicko. Down into the goal. Beautifully played.
That's what we expected from the Stingrays. A great little offensive set there. Not Sicko scoring the goal. Not missing out on another opportunity this time, converting on really their first chance of the game. And they've got a 1-0 lead here in game 3, and they're looking to build on it. Nano can't quite find it. Kanura going to find the clear. Sicko just waiting back, making sure they don't allow anything across field. As Greed going to make a nice play in front of the net, trying to get it around. Tony kind of does with a great little bounce. Now it's up to Nano to center it in front of the net, and it's just off the crossbar and wide.
Not Sicko stopping the clear in mid, but Kanura is waiting. He's going to be able to make that clear go through, and maybe a breakaway shot. Reed comes in out of nowhere, pushes the shot back into the corner, giving the Stingrays back some life and keeping the lead for them.
Stingrays are doing a great job of just coming out of nowhere on defense, and it looks like it's an open net. Greed and Nano do run into each other. This could be a chance for Spectral, but Not Sicko is there. One more lob, but it goes high, and Tony's follow-up misses. Kanura can't quite get to the ball. 2 great chances turned away from Byron Center, and now Not Sicko has a chance. Kanura going to steal this one away, and I will say this Byron Center offense has been a lot better in game 3.
But Stingrays have still been able to deny them a lot of shots on goal. But this is one that they might not be able to deny. Greed is trying to solo defend, but all three of Bryan Center were circling like sharks on that one. Gonna find their first goal in the equalizer.
Greed tried his hardest. If he had saved that one, I think he actually would have made the hero 1v3. He gets a great touch on it, though. Gets it around 2, and he'll get it right back. Open net. Stingrays back in front.
2 minutes, 10 seconds left. I know it's never gonna. It keeps catching you off guard.
I don't know how you can play that card. With
it doesn't help that the eyes move. I'm just gonna say that. That just. Greed now is going to be putting that pitch into good use. Can he get the shot on goal? No, it's going to be blocked by Bryan Center, but he's going to stop it in midfield. Making the move, Nano in mid, facing the wrong way, but has to turn around. He's going to slow play it. Notsicko in the pass. Ready for the passing lane. Greed also trying to just play a bit of interference with Bryan Center, but these passes aren't quite going through. Notsicko is able to push it to the corner. Bryan Center, they have 2 right now on the near post.
Stingrays just kind of fell apart there. Really couldn't. Again, that Denver Bronco comparison maybe coming true, but they've got Nano. He's down there cherry picking, and this should be an easy goal, but everybody misses. And Greed finds the back of the net. That's one way to do it. I don't think that's how they drew it up, but it's one way to score a goal.
Now the Stingrays at 3 to Bryan Center's 1. Can Bryan Center mount a comeback just on the goal here? And yes, it's going to be made 3-2, which, much like the Broncos, is a score that you would see reflected in one of their games.
Unfortunately, Bryan Center's offense, this really could be the Broncos versus the Broncos, because Bryan Center hasn't scored more than 2 goals all series. It's not Sicko. Oh, nice little flip reset there, but it is saved. Tony now. Gonna pass over to Spectral. It is turned away. Nano trying to get that insurance goal, but it's just wide of the net, and Notsicko can't quite get the pass. Over to Greed. The setup is there, but it hits off the crossbar. But there's only 45 seconds left, and Notsicko with Nano's help. That should help end the game.
Yep, that should. They were looking for that insurance goal to give themselves a bit of leeway. And now especially winning the kickoff here is going to be very important because it just allows them to burn so much time.
Yep.
Nano keeping the side control going. Greed almost just sneakily redirects that into the goal. Kanura making the last play. This has to be the play that goes through for Bryan Center if they still want a chance. Tone finds himself on the wrong side of the soccer ball, and Greed just very casually pushes it back. It's just burning time. Spectral one last chance, but no follow-up whatsoever.
Big props to Bryan Center. They definitely, after game 1, turned things around, but they will find themselves in the lower bracket here in the next 3 seconds as everybody waits. Final goal does go in, but again, it was a foregone conclusion at this point. Stingrays advance to the next round, a 3-0 sweep over Bryan Center, and they nearly made it 6-2 off the kickoff. Absolutely fantastic job by the Stingrays.
Well, you know, Fish, going at it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. And we saw that once these teams were able to get past some of their coordination issues and actually play off of each other, especially the Stingrays, they were able to secure the goal. Esports Tower takes the time to create teams of well-matched teammates. Shout out to all the coaches. And for those of you who are watching who haven't checked out Esports Tower Club, you should. It's a fast track to rank up. Well, the Stingrays advance past Bryan Center to go into the winners semis. Well, they are now going to face against the Barracudas. So that should be a pretty interesting matchup that we have. But before we get to it, we're going to take a short break and then be back with more of this Esports Tower Rumble after this.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
You take really strong players from disparate communities and you put them together on teams with expert coaching.
So you mean to tell me by all the hands in the room, everybody in here is that top 2%?
It's ultimate. It's a 1v1. It proceeds to the last moment.
It's not every day that you're a kid like me and you get to have this experience.
It's something. He gets one.
This boot camp is really about finding out every weakness.
There's no such thing as a big mistake at this level.
I have people in the crowd there cheering my name on. I have to give them a show.
That feeling of just being up on stage and having a whole crowd of people, it's unbeatable.
1v1, but oh, why would you pick him?
I love this. I want to do this every day.
Another pin.
You didn't make a choice, so you were just looking at things.
If you want to go pro, sometimes you have to make sacrifices.
Jump up and down, you're a crowd, you're casters. It's a transformational experience.
That was a light switch, and now I see what it's all about.
A lot of players here right now are caught up in winning their tournaments 5-10 years down the road. They're not going to remember who won.
Welcome back to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble and Rocket League, broadcasting from the Boise State Esports Arena. It's time for our first semifinals in the upper bracket. The Stingrays, who won their quarterfinal game, are going to be going up against the Barracudas, who had a bye to advance to this round. Now, who's going to make it to the winners finals? We're going to find out shortly. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer, joined by Michael Fisher, calling all of the action for you here tonight. And Fish, this really is, I think, true where we're going to see the veterans really come out. I mean, a team like the Barracudas that's been known for so long.
Yep.
But even on the Stingrays, we have names like Nano, which we've known for so long.
Yeah, Nano and Greed, and then the Barracudas are going to have a Drift, who's been, I mean, one of the top performers in Esports Tower Rocket League for what? I mean, the last 6-7 months. I mean, this is going to be a great little showdown between, I mean, of course, we saw, I mean, Not Sicko has been one of those players who recently has been a standout as well on the Stingrays. So the Stingrays, I think, I mean, you look on paper, maybe came in as the favorites in this tournament, but, you know, they don't play the games on paper. They play them on the Rocket League field. So I'm very curious to see how the Barracudas play. Of course, you have that debate. Would you rather have the bye? Would you rather get the warm-up game? That'll be the case here again. We take a look at our semifinals. They're all set while Brian Center waiting for next week in that lower bracket for maybe their chance for a crazy run back on the bottom side.
Well, before we start this match of the Barracudas versus the Stingrays, we also want to take a moment to congratulate all the Esports Tower club members who have graduated from their clubs and been offered scholarships across the country. Over the last 3 months, Esports Tower club members have received over $3.9 million in scholarship awards. students who have wildly worked hard on their in-game play, but also academically to earn these scholarship opportunities. The players that have received these scholarships are talented, hardworking, and driven, and we could not be more excited and proud to see all the opportunities these players are getting. So we're ready to move into this next match. Both these teams have a lot of veteran players, but even the veteran players need advice from time to time, and that advice will be in Doc's Keys to the Game for Rocket League to create mistakes, punish overcommits, play off the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Doc's Keys Game brought to us by Esports Tower. Score Pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. It's time to kick off our semifinal. Who will move on to the winners finals? The Barracudas versus the Stingrays. We're ready to jump into game 2 of the night and find out who is going to punch their ticket to, hopefully, a nice position to set themselves up for week 2 of this Rumble in the grand finals.
And it'd be interesting. Game 1 of the quarterfinals between Byron Center and the Stingrays. Both teams kind of struggled a little bit sluggish. So very curious to see if maybe the Barracudas, without being able to play that warm-up game, or maybe you're going to have that struggle here in Game 1. If the Stingrays can maybe take on the advantage of that and capitalize. But right now, Adrift takes a great shot. Not Sicko there to make the save, but it's stolen away by Yags. Huge clear by Nano. Adrift able to just push that one out of harm's way and got a great second touch on it as well over to his teammate X13.
Demo onto Greed is going to allow the Barracudas to put even more pressure onto the Stingrays. Nano's able to push it up above his own goal and at least make it back toward midfield.
Drift just once again gets a great clear. Another touch on it, but Nano follows it up with a huge clear down to the other side. Yags clears it away from one. Greed opportunity on the net. And it sneaks past Sean. And it's a 1-0 Stingrays lead. And maybe that early game paying off in dividends.
Kickoff in favor of Not Sicko. Yags in the traditional spot on the wall to wait for it. Deflected back. Now we'll see if the ball can be cleared back by the Barracudas yet again. Play above X13 Greed. Another shot toward the goal. Stingrays putting even more pressure onto the Barracudas. Adrift is going to try to pass it back to X13. Not Sicko demoed. Yags leaving it for Adrift in mid. Nano now contesting with Adrift. Pass to X13. Miss on the shot on goal.
It was a great little setup there. Yags can't quite stop Not Sicko. And so Adrift will have to corral it in the corner, pass it back to X13. Nice little give and go there. Adrift pops it up in the air, trying to get it around Greed, but he can't quite fool him. And nice stop there by X13 in the corner. Not Sicko with the miss on the ball. Is there any punish? Yags goes in, Adrift goes in, but it's Nano who gets the clear.
X13 passes to Yags on the other side of the field. It's going to be played over Greed. Set up, Adrift. It heads up, but not down. That shot on goal whiffed, and they might have overcommitted on that one. Nano's trying to chase the ball up the field. Has to go up against Yags. Ball is set up, and Adrift is going to take it off to the side.
Nice pinch by Adrift. Oh, my goodness. He gets a great rebound as well, I believe, off Not Sicko. What a fantastic play by Adrift. 1-1 as we near the halfway mark of game number 1.
Not Sicko is going to be able to beat Yags to that ball, so no shot on goal for the Barracudas. Shot back toward mid. Nice redirect from Not Sicko. Drift dribbling it up the field. In comes Greed out of the side. Now it's up to Nano. Pushing them back to their own corner. Going to put a demo onto Yags off the wall. Follow-up shot by Greed. Just going to barely be saved by a double commit from the Barracudas.
Yags, nice pass over to Adrift. Nano with a great save, but they still have pressure to the Barracudas. Yags tried to bump Greed out of the way. Adrift going to center it. Yags, just drove past the ball. This gives a chance for the Stingrays. They do get a demo. Looks like X13 and Not Sicko with the double demo onto each other. Yags trying to get it to a teammate, but Not Sicko off the respawn, able to clear it away. Nano
waiting on the other side of the corner, but gets demoed by the Barracudas. Drift trying to take that, push it toward the goal. Nano tries to defend on the respawn, but it's going to be not Sicko who gets the save. Yags trying to push it back away from his goal. Greed around the corner. Might actually turn into a centering. And Drift beats the Stingrays to it before any follow-up can be brought out.
Oh, Drift back to Yags, but they ran into each other. A great opportunity for the Barracudas, just missed. And minute left. It's tied at 1 here in our first semifinal, game number 1. Yags gets that ball stolen away, but Adrift there at midfield. He's got X13 right below him, past X13. It's just high, but a nice save by Not Sicko prevents any rebounds.
Oh, Greed with a nice redirect back toward Barracuda's goal. 50-50 is going to be won by Nano. Now Greed able to push it back toward Barracuda territory. Nano shot around the corner. Can they set it up? They've already demoed one. Not Sicko. The shot goes up, though. Again, a lot of players having trouble with dunking it down.
25 seconds left. Maybe like one more possession, one more shot for the Barracudas. Adrift trying to clear it, gets stolen away. Now Nano and Not Sicko have a chance to win this game in regulation. Greed with the nice stop. The Stingrays might get the final shot, but Adrift going to steal it away. He's got X13 next to him. They pinch it together, and Nano just barely makes the save in time. Yag's going to fire one last effort, and Greed will turn it away, and we should be heading to overtime.
Sometimes overtimes can last a long time. Sometimes they're decided right off the bat, and it's ball's going to be pinched off to the side. Not Sicko takes a quick shot on goal. Yags has to elevate up to save, but the Stingrays see an opportunity. They want to end overtime right now, but Adrift has a great shot toward the goal, saved by Not Sicko. Back to the corner.
Nano going to play it off the corner himself. Another chance here for the Barracudas. Greed going to get demoed, though. And that'll kill the possession for the Stingrays. Yags racing upfield, has Greed in front of him, pops it over him. Adrift trying to play the rebound. Not Sicko makes the save. X13 with a little chip shot in front of the net, but Nano is there. And overtime continues as Adrift shot goes high, and he can't find the follow-up. And X13 is just way too slow on that one, and he's not quite able to end it.
Yags elevates up. He's going to leave it. Where's the team? Nope. Not Sicko was right in front of that. Ooh. Teammates are going to slow play it. Try to wait for the... Oh, I actually think Yags he was trying to push it into the goal, but it actually turned into a defensive redirect against his team.
Trying to make up for it. Gets it over to Adrift, but it hits off the crossbar. X13 trying to lob it on the net. The Barracudas have had so many chances to end this game. Will they be punished, or will they finally find the back of the net? Yags goes up once again, trying to air dribble it in, takes the shot. Greed makes the save. X13 is there, though, but Nano going to make a follow-up save. One more chance for X13, but he's going to hit it wide of the net, and the Stingrays should be able to take this ball, but a great steal by Yags. Means Barracuda still kind of have possession.
It's going to be pushed back to mid. Nano beats X13 to it. But isn't able to get more than one tap on it, and that allows the ball to be cleared back by the Barracudas, and Yags drives it in for the winning goal. Barracudas win that one.
That was an absolutely insane overtime. I think the Stingrays ended the game with like 14 saves as a team. Every single icon on that overlay was just save medallions for the Stingrays. So clearly the Barracudas offense is going to be a problem, especially Adrift. I mean, he had, I think, double-digit shots on his own. He had that insane pinch play to score the only goal in regulation for the Barracudas. I mean, again, that Denver Broncos comparison you made in the quarterfinals for the Stingrays just looking better and better. There was some fantastic defense that they played. They just could not come really that close to ever getting a second goal in the back of the net, and they literally just needed 2 goals to win that
I think one of the things that's really proven to be kind of an Achilles heel for these teams is trying to get those downward shots into the goal, those dunks, because so many times we see a teammate going for the shot on goal, and instead they just drive it up into the backboard instead. So that's one of those things that just mechanically seems to be evading these teams so far tonight. But if any team is going to be able to work that out, then a lot more of their setups are going to prove fruitful.
I think the other thing, though, we do have to give credit, the defensive play by both these teams. It's absolutely incredible. Sometimes you have the perfect setup and the defense is just in the exact right spot. as we kick off game 2. Adrift makes a fantastic save, going backwards as well. Yags gets demoed. Could be a chance for the Stingrays to score early, but Nano can't quite find it. A fantastic save by one of the Barracudas keeps us at 0-0 in the first 15 seconds.
Ooh, X13 is able to steal it away from Nano, giving the Barracudas maybe a bit of an opening. Played around demo in the Stingrays' goal. It's wide open, but the Barracudas are slow playing it too. The positioning is just a bit off for the Barracudas. I mean, it seemed like they had all the pressure in the world, and yet they're retreating.
Nano waits on that ball, can't find it. Greed going to take the shot, follow up. Saved by X13, but not Sicko puts it home. And once again, the Stingrays strike first. We'll see if they can hold on to it this time in game 2.
Ooh, everyone going after that kickoff. Redirect from X13 off into the Stingrays quarter. They've got the side control, can't flick it in. And a demo onto Adrift. X13 meets it in mid. Reed with a shot toward the goal, stopped by Adrift. Adrift is going to get one touch, but can't air dribble it too. He has to depend on Yags to get the shot. And the ball, that takes a very forceful bounce off the backboard. So far, it goes all the way back toward mid. Demo onto Adrift. Nano to set it up. Can he get the dunk shot they've been looking for? Not quite, almost. But isn't able to squeeze it in past himself and the crossbar.
The Yags made a great defensive effort on that as well. And now we'll see if the Barracudas can find the tying goal. X13, one touch. Yags goes flying past, maybe trying to deke out the goalie. But Adrift is here. One touch, recenters it. Yags flying in, double taps it. Oh, Greed able to make a great save. And the Stingrays keep possession. X13 now trying to follow it up. Adrift is there, and almost X13 makes the save. But he just gets out of the way, and it's once again 1-1.
Everything reset 2 minutes into the game. Nice play from Yags. Ooh, gets a double touch on it. And it's now going to try to push it in the goal. Bananos hanging back on the near post. Oh, a quick shot from X13 off of the crossbar. Not going to find it, but Barracudas seem to be bringing things together at this point.
Both these teams, I mean, you can just see how even this series is. It's 1-1. Greed has an opportunity. Yags makes a great save. Neither team giving an inch really as Yags has a chance here. Nano going to intercept that one. It's near midfield. Adrift, one touch. Going to try and air dribble this one in. They got a demo on to not. Sicko and Adrift with a huge play gives the Barracudas a lead.
That's probably the best air dribbling we've seen so far tonight. That was very clean. Next kickoff. Going to go slightly in favor of the Stingrays, but Adrift is waiting back. Nano with another shot. Cross mid. Yags goes into his own corner to pick up some boost, but is played under by not Sicko. Stingrays trying to gain control and set up for a shot. They might have rotated up too far. Greed has to chase that ball back. Yags isn't going to be able to steal away from him. Greed playing around two. Now just X13 is remaining. He's able to get a touch on in midfield, and it almost actually heads into the goal.
Oh, that might have been game right there with how well the Barracudas defense has been playing as Adrift and X13 still in possession. 90 seconds left. Can the Stingrays muster an offensive push? They got a great chance here, but Adrift with a nice intercept near midfield. Not Sicko, off the wall, going to carry it. He's got Greed right below him, but it's a great clear, and the Stingrays have to go flying back on defense. X13 can't quite find it, and it remains 2-1 here in game 2.
Ooh, Adrift again, trying to bring out the aerial acrobatics. Nano trying to get in the shootout with X13. X13 is able to stop him. Now over to Adrift. Adrift is going to air dribble it a third time. Just be content to push it off in the corner for a centering. Over to Yags. Beautifully played. Insurance goal for the Barracudas. I think that's going to probably be enough to secure another win.
The way their defense has been playing, I can't argue with you there, Jim. 2 goals in 45 seconds. It's nigh impossible, but we'll see what the Stingrays have. This team obviously clearly talented. We've talked about Greed and Nano and not Sicko. Can they find at least one goal, give themselves a chance? They've got a great opportunity here, but fantastic defense. Greed shot wide on the follow-up. And now the Barracudas probably just going to try and clear this one, but not Sicko with a nice steal. Can't quite really make anything happen of it. Nano shot wide as well, and there's the long clear to start bleeding this clock.
Yags up for a redirect, but it was X13 that went flying past that one. Now a drift. Doing it right in front of the goal. X13 on the follow-up. It's aimed right, but it heads down into a Stingray. At this point, though, it would just be a little icing on top of the cake. They got enough goals to win as it is. 3-1, Barracudas winning in game number 2. And are now going to head on to game 3 at match point.
I know we've been joking about the Stingrays and their offense, but I think that game was more just the defensive effort of the Barracudas was absolutely phenomenal. Yags had a couple of great saves on some of those waterfalls, had an absolutely phenomenal play. Adrift had a couple of crazy saves at the start. This Barracudas team is playing like they were, they've been playing 19 other teams to get to this point. They don't look like they're coming off a bye at all. They have exactly the perfect offensive strategy, which is really just give Adrift the ball and he's going to make insane plays, which it works, so I can't argue with it. And their defense, it's rock solid. There is no weaknesses in this defense.
Well, if they continue on in that same performance and are showing no weaknesses, then this could be the final game for them, and they're going to move on to the winners' finals. Let's find out who is going to win this match. Join another team, be able to move on to the winners' finals with a shot of being the first team to qualify for the grand finals. It's going to be all decided in game number 3. Can the Barracudas pull off a 3-0 sweep?
And the Stingrays have scored first every single time. They've been in the lead. They just haven't been able to hold it, and they almost scored first once again. But Yags is there off the ceiling, looking for a pinch, though. It ends up getting picked up by Adrift. And that ball will now get cleared. Nano is there. Great shot, but there's that excellent defense. X13, one man back, makes a great save. Now him and Yags in the goal. And this is going to be a tough one to crack. And it looks like it'll just get cleared away.
Drift now waiting to make the next play. Nano's going to take it away from him. Try to push it toward the goal, but X13 is right there. Pass back toward Yags in mid. Greed is defending. He's able to get the save and push it off to the side. Now a deflect off Nano. He's going to set it up. Can there be a follow-up? No. Yags is going to beat him.
Oh, a drift.
And now a drift. Oh, almost had a breakaway shot. Nano rotating back just in time.
Nano trying to slow things down a little bit, but Adrift with a nice intercept there. Takes a funky hop off of Not Sicko. Yags shot, though, turned away. X13 off the back wall. Yags going to follow it up. Oh, it's saved by Not Sicko. I thought that was going to roll in. This time it's the Stingrays playing great defense. Adrift, though, wants it back, but that ball was way too fast for him to get a rebound.
Setting it up again for X13. Wasn't able to make the shot on goal. Greed now. Who's he going to try to pass to? Finds himself sandwiched in between two Stingrays. Nano tries to get the shot, but it's going to be head over. The pass toward Greed. Not going to be able to make it. X13 able to get a touch on it. Not Sicko has it stolen away. It's going to bounce back toward mid.
Not Sicko, nice intercept there on X13. Yags just driving past it, and Greed and Nano going to slam together with a huge clear onto that ball. Still scoreless here in Game 3. 2 minutes gone by. Winner to the winners' finals. The Barracudas want the sweep, and X13 wants the goal, but Nano turns him away. Yags trying to keep it alive. Gets it around 2 members of the Stingrays. Now all of a sudden, scary spot here for the Barracudas, but they're able to just kind of clear that ball, keep it in mid, and the Stingrays just can't even really get a fender on it right now.
Nano already has 4 saves throughout this round, and Adrift is going to get demoed. Yags, though, is the one with the key save for the Barracudas. In fact, it's both X13 and Nano. I mean, look at all the save medals that are in the activity feed. I mean, both these teams have really good defense this game.
And that's just a sign of good teams. You're not allowing your opponents to get shots.
It was
Nano
wide open.
misses the open net, but his team still got a chance here. Greed off the top wall. X13 with a nice clear. Yags now wants to launch it down. Over to X13. Ends up Yags will take it himself. Gets it around 1. Had a drift near midfield, sets him up on the rebound, but he'd end up retreating. Smart play there. X13 now over to Yags off the corner. They center it up for a drift, but the ball's behind him. So he ends up shooting it towards his own net. Nano just can't quite find it. And we remain 0-0 here.
Yags finds himself short on boost and drops out of the sky. Greed doesn't have any boost, and that ball was just going to sink down to the ground. Adrift with kind of a half-hearted save, I would say, but it's still a save nonetheless. Back off to mid. X13 doing his best Mr. Unlimited impression by passing to the other team.
Ooh, Yags has a chance here. Nano just trying to clear that one away. It's right in front of the net. Greed is there. Can't quite get it. X13 pops it up. Not Sicko. Who is going to break our scoreless tie? Will we even have a goal in regulation? 60 seconds to find out. Barracudas, they have an opportunity. They're looking for the sweep. Adrift is there. He centers it up, but the ball's behind X13, and Yags got his back to it. Oh, no, the Barracudas fumble away a great opportunity.
Demo onto Greed. Yags standing up for X13. Back over to mid where Adrift is. Can he play off the wall? He can. Spikes it down, and it hits the goal. One goal for the Barracudas.
Telling you, the Barracudas' offensive game plan this series has been get the ball to Adrift and let him do Adrift things, and they're 33 seconds away from that working perfectly. Can the Stingrays muster any kind of offense here in our final 24 seconds? They're right in front of the net. Not Sicko going to pop it up. Ball just goes over Yag, so Nano gets a touch on it. It's bounced off the crossbar, and Greed slams it home. And it's 1-1 here with 15 seconds left.
Quite exciting, and the next kickoff in favor. Looked like Nano might have had an opportunity. Adrift is going to try to make one for himself. Demo onto Not Sicko. Yags to set it up. Possibility for a buzzer beater of X13. Can lob it to go. He does! Barracuda's back in the lead.
First goal all series for X13, and that might be the one that clinches it. Oh, everybody fakes each other out on the kickoff. The clock doesn't start till the ball is touched. A great little play there by the Stingrays. They've got a chance to send it to overtime, but it hit off the crossbar. Oh, that was so well played, but it's the Barracudas who get the sweep. They move to the winners finals, but
that was probably the most exciting game of the night.
We still got a couple games left, but, man, to be in the lower bracket after the way the Stingrays played that series has to feel so bad because they didn't make any mistakes. They just kind of got, adrifted, right? Maybe that's the that's going to be the word, the Merriam-Webster word for 2023 is adrifted because, it's really what it was. He just took over the series.
Well, this match is brought to you by Esports Tower, of course, and if you want to be seen by extra college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Well, that's going to do it for the Barracudas. They have made it on to the winners finals, so we'll have an opportunity by the end of the night to be one of the teams that might be going to the grand finals, but we still have the other winners finals to get to. That's going to be against the Lynxes versus the Wolves. So first time that we'll be seeing those two teams as well. So there's a whole other half of the roster we haven't seen. A lot of talent left, so you're going to want to be sure to stay tuned, and we'll see a whole bunch of new players in the other winners finals after this.
Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
You take really strong players from disparate communities and you put them together on teams with expert coaching.
So you mean to tell me by all the hands in the room, everybody in here is that top 2%?
It's ultimate. It's a 1v1. It proceeds to the last moment.
It's not every day that you're a kid like me and you get to have this experience.
Something. He gets one.
This boot camp is really about finding out every weakness.
There's no such thing as a big mistake at this level.
I have people in the crowd there cheering my name on. I have to give them a show.
That feeling of just being up on stage and having a whole crowd of people, it's unbeatable.
1v1, but oh, why would you pick him?
I love this. I want to do this every day.
Another pin.
You didn't make a choice. So you were just looking at things.
If you want to go pro, sometimes you have to make sacrifices.
Jump up and down, you're a crowd, you're a caster. It's a transformational experience.
That was a light switch, and now I see what it's all about.
A lot of players here right now are caught up in winning their tournaments 5-10 years down the road. They're not going to remember who won.
Welcome back to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble and Rocket League, broadcasting from the Boise State Esports Arena. Who will join the Barracudas in the winners finals? The Lynx and Wolves get their first action of the night as they face off in our second semifinal. I'm your host Jacob Palmer, joined by Michael Fisher, calling all the action for you tonight. So Fish, as we said before the break, these are two teams we have not seen at all until this match tonight. So what's kind of the unseen talent that waits for us with the Wolves and the Lynxes?
They've got a lot of players that, you know, we've seen in the past. Spook Kuda, who's been an up-and-comer in some of the Rumbles, and then one of the teams, I can't remember if it is the Lynx or the Wolves, I believe it is the Lynx, has a squad that's been playing together for, I think, the last few Rumbles. It is Torque, Switch, and State AR. They have been together, I think, for the last month plus. So in terms of experience playing together, the Lynx are the most experienced team in this Rumble, so maybe they'll make some noise. There's not going to be any adjustment period, so definitely some names will recognize. Again, a team that we have seen in past Rumbles make some noise with Torque, Switch, and State. So these teams are going to be ready for this action, even though they had a bye. I think that favors the Lynx. Again, they've been playing together for, I believe, the last month and a half in previous Rumbles, where the Wolves, outside of Spook Kuda, got to get used to each other. So Lynx might maybe run away with this one. We'll have to see, though.
It is going to be the Lynx versus the Wolves to decide who meets the Barracudas in the winners finals. Whoever loses is going to drop down to the lower bracket, where Stingrays and Bryan Center lie in wait for their redemption arc. But right now, we don't want to waste any more time and want to get right into the action. So this is going to be Wolves versus Lynx in the semifinals. Who is going to move on in this tournament, and who is going to have to fight just a little bit harder in the lower bracket if they want their chance at winning toward the grand finals. We're just about ready to head into game number 3, heading down to the field, ready to check out all of the action and see which of the players we haven't seen so far rises to the occasion.
I'm excited to see it. It's been a fantastic night. I don't know how they're going to top that last series we just watched with the Barracudas and the Stingrays, where it was back and forth the whole time. But as you said, Lynx Wolves semifinal number 2. Who's moving on to our winners finals? Who's got a chance at the grand final when the night is all said and done? That's what we're about to find out as we head in to kick off game number 1 between these two squads.
Initial kickoff doesn't go quite in favor of the other team, but Lynxes are able to get possession quite soon after it. Scythe moving up the field. Seems to have a bit of trouble meeting the ball. So it's going to be left wide open for the Lynxes trying to make their play. Kuda gets demoed. F trying to head down. Maybe set it up for Scythe. Kuda gets a tap on it, but there's no follow-up, so the Lynxes can just wait for their clear.
Scythe in the corner, going to corral it, get it past one. State with a nice steal, but Kuda is there to clear that one away. Down into the corner. Touch on it, though, by Switch, and he'll help clear this one away. Torque not quite able to corral it, but State, ooh, never mind, backs off. So F and Scythe able to combine for a nice little shot, but it's easily turned away, and the Lynx now have possession.
Demo onto F, leaves the goal open for State. That makes the Lynxes have an early lead, 1-0.
State's been a great goal scorer for this Lynx squad in their past rumbles. When he scores, his team usually does pretty well, so that's a great start for them. See now, chasing down F, who gets it over a couple. But Switch able to make a fantastic save. Defense has been the motto of the night from really all of our teams. As Scythe in front of the net, State just simply going to clear that one out of the way, though. And it should be a great chance here for the Lynx. Never mind, the Wolves get it on a kind of a weird bounce, and it's 1-1.
Everything reset, and we head to the next kickoff. Nice cheat from Torque, just waiting for it. Is going to be able to get the early side control. State gets himself played over, however, by Scythe, so side control now back over to the Wolves. Setting it up, and F isn't able to get the shot on goal quite. He's going to have another opportunity to get one here, and he finds it.
Fantastic job by the Wolves, kind of putting the Lynx on their back feet, not coming out cold at all. But can they hold on to the lead? That's something we've seen our team struggle with. The Stingrays in particular couldn't hold on to leads. See if the Wolves can do that. Is Kuda going to get knocked out of the way? Switch off the sidewall, trying to get over to State. F with a fantastic clear. Looking for the hat trick already, but not quite able to find it as that ball goes wide of the net.
Knocked over to the side by F. Kuda elevating up. A lot of fighting in mid. Scythe tries to set up a play, but isn't going to quite find control of it. Now Wolves find themselves on the back foot. F able to stop that shot on goal. It's left for Kuda and Scythe in front, and they're going to get played right over by State.
This is the State versus F show at this point. Both players with 2 goals to their name. And really, all of the shots for both of their teams. The only medals for Scythe in assist. Switch has got a save, and Torque has an assist. So who between State and F can add one more goal to their tally, or who can have their teammates step up in them? Is that's going to be the key here in our final half of game number 1 as F loses control of the ball. So Torque able to push it down into the corner. Switch sees an open opportunity, but he's not quite fast enough.
F elevates up, is going to meet State. Switch now moves. Runs right into Kuda, but still has control. Scythe hanging out in front of the goal and moving up to try to stop a follow-up shot on goal. He's at least able to keep it toward mid. Switch trying to move off to the side. Up 50-50. Actually, you could have called that a 33-66 because we had a double commit from Wolves on that one. But at any rate, Wolves are now still left defending. The Lynxes seem to be playing this rather slow, looking for the right time to make their shot on goal.
The Lynx don't want to overcommit, give a free goal, especially in a tie game here. Less than 90 seconds left. Torque gets it around 1, but F is there, and now's his chance. But Switch easily steals it away. Look for that rebound. Can't quite beat out Scythe, but Torque is there. He's going to roll it right in front of the net as Kuda almost holds on long enough, but he passes it right to State. It's the hat trick for State, and it's the 3-2 lead for the Lynx over the Wolves.
1 minute left, and still time for Wolves to make up the play as F gets the first shot with that kickoff. Trying to set the Wolves up, but the Lynxes answer back quite quickly, and State gets an insurance goal to put the Lynxes now into a 4-2 lead.
State adrift. F, we've seen all the hero plays tonight, and right now State doing a great job. 4 goals to his name, 4-2 for his team, the Lynx, with 45 seconds left, and this is looking like a Game 1 win is in hand for the Lynx if they can hold on. State with a great steal, 5th goal to his name, would really seal this one. Instead, passes it down, looking for Torque, can't quite find it on the connection though. So the Wolves stay alive, but they're starting to run out of time here with only 27 seconds left.
Ooh, F whiffs on that one. In fact, a lot of the Wolves are whiffing on these saves. Allows the ball to gain quite a bit of territory onto them. But now it seems they've regrouped. F tries to push it past midfield stripe. Demo onto Scythe. At this point, though, not enough time for Wolves to make that big of a play against the Lynxes. That's going to make the Lynxes get the first victory against the Wolves. And they're looking to move onward toward the Barracudas. But these are best-of-5 games. That is not decided by any stretch of the imagination. The games so far have been 3-0 sweeps. But do you think we're going to buck that trend with this next game?
I think so. I mean, I don't think it's going to be sustainable for State to be scoring 4+ goals a game. So I definitely think the Wolves have it in them. But again, I mean, it really comes down to between the rest of the players outside of State and F, who's going to step up? Will it be someone on the Lynx like Torque and Switch? Will it be somebody on the Wolves? That's going to be the question because this can't just be a 1v1 for the whole series. Somebody else needs to score a goal, and I'll tell you, Jim, whichever team has that other player score a goal or two, that's who I think is going to win this series.
Lynx versus Wolves already head into Game 2 of this best-of-5. Will the Wolves manage to fight back against the Lynxes? Will we see a match go to Game 4 tonight? Let's find out. And quick, Kuda shot onto goal.
That was a fantastic job off the kickoff. F, even though it got demoed, was able to take somebody out of the play. And already the Wolves up 1-0. But again, they had the lead early in Game 1. Can they hold on to it is going to be the question. As Switch pops that ball up in the air. There's no follow-up, so really an easy possession here for F and the Wolves.
Playing off the wall, sets it up for Torque, and a shot on goal saved by Kuda. Scythe now moving it up with F. Oh, demo onto State. They were definitely fighting for that one. It's in front of the goal again, and Switch is just going to win that 50 enough to be able to keep the ball from being shot toward his goal. Now moves back over toward Wolves territory. F having a bit of trouble trying to get control of it in the air. Ball's going to roll off toward the middle. Torque takes it away from Scythe. Kuda is going to try to get a shot, but leaves it to State. Now look at State here. Oh, I thought it might just roll in.
Oh, Switch has a chance, but he couldn't quite corral that ball. Now F going to try and pop this one up. Is there a follow-up from Kuda? Oh, he just missed, spiking it home. State now over to Torque. But a great save by Scythe, so it's up to Switch in the corner, but it'll get cleared away. F just missing a second touch. Would have been huge for the Wolves. Now here's State trying to get his team back in it. And he does. Without question, it's 1-1.
Great start for the Lynxes. Everything is reset. Ball goes off to the side. Kuda is going to push it toward the goal, but Switch is waiting for it. F comes in around the corner. Switch now 50 with Scythe. Just gets to it before he does. Ball's going to head toward mid, but F is waiting. Still keeps the side control for the Wolves, who find their second goal.
Scythe this time, the one who gets on the board. The Wolves, in terms of Spook and Kuda and Scythe, have answered the call. They have helped out F. We'll see if they can win this game. As they get a great demo onto Torque. Scythe now in the corner, gets the ball stolen away by State. Kuda also gets the ball stolen away, and so now this should be an easy chance for Switch. Tries a very long pass over to State. That one easily intercepted. He'll try it again here, but F will make an easy save and clear it away.
Ball high and slow toward midfield stripe. Torque is going to take control of it, try to just force it in over the goalie. Doesn't quite find it. It bounces off of the near post. F setting it up. Scythe to try to follow up, but he's too far back on the shot. Wolves still trying to find that insurance goal. Pass over the other side of the field. Boost has recharged. Lynxes are going to pick that one up. But still struggling to get it at least toward mid on their clear. Wolves are pressing in on them pretty forcefully.
State gonna get it past, now trying to carry it. Hits off the crossbar, lands in Torque's lap. But he didn't have any momentum, kind of caught him flat-footed. And so he wasn't able to convert on that one. Now the Wolves once again gonna turn the pressure on. Kuda here, trying to build this lead. Switch makes a great save, gonna now try and clear it up midfield. Trying to get it around F, he'll do just that, but a fantastic save by another member of the Wolves prevents any sort of forward progress for this Lynx team that's trying to tie this game up in the final 90 seconds. Uh-oh.
Oh, F. F in the chat for F, missing that save.
Wolves now 3-1. They've spread the scoring around, and it has worked perfectly. We'll see if the Lynx can figure out how to come back here. They still got time, but they need to figure out a way to generate some offense that isn't just give the ball to State.
State trying to pressure F on this clear. He's going to go for a double touch, but double commit from the Lynx to try to take it away from him. Switch now moving up. At this point, we're now down to just 1 minute left. Wolves maintaining a 2-goal lead. Ooh. F finds himself on the wrong side of the ball, so has to drive around it. Scythe fighting in the corner. F comes in. Oh, just almost plays it off the near post. Almost setting up for a teammate. Demo onto F. Scythe backs into the ball. Around toward the goal. State finds the save on the back post.
Fortunately, I just think the Lynx are going to simply run out of time. State trying to carry it into the goal. Can't quite do it. With 18 seconds left, it's going to take a bit of a miracle here. And they're just running out of time. Torque does get demoed. Kuda with the ball in the back pass, but the Wolves happy to simply just burn time off the clock, and that should do it. We should finally see our first non-sweep of the night here as the Wolves win game 2 and even the series up at 1-1.
So we are going to be going into a game 4 of this best of 5. Things definitely turning around in the Wolves' favor against the Lynxes. So you kind of mentioned a little bit on the strategy of not just trying to let the ball go to State. Could you elaborate on that a little more? I mean, why is that the main thing that they need to do to improve?
It's because, I mean, they're doing a really great job, are the Wolves, of keying up on that. They're going to chase down State. They're going to put multiple members on him. He's basically playing a 1v2. As you said, it's not a 50-50 anymore. It's a 33-66 every time State has the ball, which means somebody else is going to be open. And State's a great player. Don't get me wrong. He scored several goals in those one-on-twos, but he should have someone else open, whether it's Torque or Switch, and that's just why he needs to find a way to get him the ball. And they should have really a wide open shot. I mean, we saw it. Torque had an open shot, but unfortunately he had no momentum on his car. It is so hard to score when you're not moving forward. But a play like that, if Torque is just a couple 4 meters back, easy goal. So that's all they've got to do. They're right there. They just got to find a way to get somebody else involved.
Well, we're just about to start game 3, and we'll see which team moves into match point territory. And we're going to be going on to meet the Barracudas in the winners of finals. Game is just about to start. Players are loaded in, and we are ready for the first kickoff here. Maybe this first kickoff will be able to give the team enough momentum to ride it all the way to victory, especially if Kuda just gets the goal off the bat.
Kuda just gets the goal off the bat indeed. And the Wolves strike first here. We'll have to see if the Lynx can manage to make a comeback. Because right now, they're struggling a little bit here. Is F going to get that ball over to Scythe? And it'll get cleared away.
Torque shot on goal, saved by Kuda.
State going to get demoed here, and it looks like the Lynx trying to make a comeback. Ball down into the corner. F corrals it. And State now can't quite make a play on it. Scythe's going to be in the corner. Nice demo is going to come out here from the Lynx. And They're trying to tie this game up. Another demo going to come out on to F. Ball up in the air. Oh, State can't quite find the back of the net. The switch going to pass it back. Oh, F has got a chance right in front of the net here. Kuda just misses on it. And that ball will get cleared away.
Looks like we have just a bit of a tech pause coming out between these two teams. So we will look to get back in. Sometimes you can just have a lobby error and maybe need to reset the game just because of that.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll have to see. Again, I think the big thing is going to be for the Lynx, again, trying to find somebody else to get involved in the scoring. Because, again, I mean, we talked about it after game one. Both F and State were scoring a bunch. And what did the Wolves do? Every single player scored a goal, and they won that game. I don't think it's any coincidence that F didn't have all that pressure on him to try and find the back of the net time after time. So, again, if the Lynx can find a way, I mean, Torque and Switch had a couple of great opportunities, a couple of just missed passes. They're right there. If they can figure that one out, I think the Lynx will be good to go here as we hop in.
All right, all things being equal, we did a quick match reset. We're going to be back into this match in progress. Tied 1-1, Lynxes versus Wolves.
Looks like the Lynx able to pick up an early goal. The Wolves just tied it right back here. So it is 1-1 in game 3. And we'll see who can break this tie. And again, it is Torque with the goal. That's what the Lynxes needed. We'll see if maybe Switch can put one on the board as well as Kuda right in front of the back of the net. Not quite able to find it. Scythe there, but it's a little bit wide.
Pass back toward midfield. Wolves and Lynxes. State. Another shot toward the goal is just barely saved by the Wolves.
Ooh, Scythe going to get bumped out of the way. Switch recenters it, but F with a fantastic clear. Torque, though, not going to allow anything to happen. We'll get demoed, but cleared the ball far enough away that demo should not impact the Lynx whatsoever defensively. And now State has a great opportunity, but Kuda going to make a fantastic save.
Kuda now pushing it up the field. Switch stops it slightly, but the air dribble from Kuda is going to keep the ball moving over toward the Lynxes. Scythe plays it off the wall. Ooh, once again, off to the near post.
We'll stay with a nice attempted clear. Torque tries to get it out of harm's way as well. And now Scythe has a chance. Probably the last one here, but it ends up going over a couple of players, but it just bounces wide. F can't quite find it either. And the Lynx escape near disaster there. Now we're trying to turn it into a goal of their own, but unfortunately Switch and Torque can't quite find it.
Scythe now leaves it for F, and just some amazing dribbling to push it into the goal. That is just all individual skill there, juking out every member of the Lynxes.
F wins the kickoff as well. Wolves looking really good here to maybe move this to match point. Can they hold on for the next minute 30 as Torque gets that ball stolen away? State not going to allow that ball to go in the back of the net, so no insurance goal. Switch gets a great little touch on it, but F back down into the corner, has Scythe in front of him, but Switch will be able to clear that ball at least out of the way for now. And State gets a great touch to hopefully reset and give the Lynx some offense. And maybe even a goal, as there was nobody back for the Wolves, and all of a sudden, like that, it's 2-2.
Not quite uncommon for tonight. Seeing teams rotate too far up and then get the open goal scored on. Ball off to the side as there's been a lot of fighting off the kickoff, but no clear winner quite yet. That's a great back pass from F toward the goal. Isn't going to quite have anyone to follow up on it. Kuda pushes it off to the side. Scythe and State in a 50. And Scythe is able to play around State. Ball left right in the center of the field. Just 1 minute left, tied 2 apiece. And there's the 35-66 in favor of Switch, though, managing to beat the double commit from the Wolves.
Ooh, Torque with a great shot there. Scythe able to make a great save. Pinches it off the wall. State going to keep that ball out of F's hands. Kuda rips a shot. It's off the crossbar. Another shot off the crossbar for the Wolves. 2 very close chances to breaking this tie. Instead, Torque puts it on net, but it's just wide. It's recentered. But Kuda is going to be able to clear this ball away with 20 seconds.
Not much time left, but still time for a team to make a buzzer beater. Torque is going to leave it Off and toward the corner, steal the Wolves' own boost away from them and set it up for State, who puts it in right at the clutch moment.
I never said you couldn't let State score some of the goals, and that's what they did right there. They got it to their best player with 9 seconds left. Those Scythe and company have a chance. Kuda and F racing to the ball. Unfortunately, the Wolves just double committing way too often. Ball touches the ground, and it's the Lynx who move on to match point here in our second semifinals.
So it looks like if the Lynx are able to win this, they might be going up against the Barracudas, but the Wolves, definitely, I think we've seen that they can have explosive starts off the kickoff. It really seems like the Wolves' strategy when they want to win is just to build up enough of the lead so the Lynx can't build it back. And if they aren't off to that quick start, then it's spelling trouble for them.
Yeah, I think the Wolves have really got, after that first game, F has kind of gone quiet. He hasn't had nearly the dominant performance that we've seen State continue to have. So they really need F to step up. They're doing a great job defensively for the most part, limiting State's opportunities. Switch scoring a great goal there. Torque having a couple of great chances. I think maybe you start finding chasing State around. I think if you can keep him out of the plays, I really do like the Wolves' chances here in getting us to a Game 5. But they've also got to score a couple goals of themselves. As you said, they need to build maybe like a 2-0, 3-1 lead, and then just rely on their defense as we kick off game number 4, our first Game 4 of the night between these teams, seeing who's going to advance to the winners' finals against the Barracudas.
Ball heading back toward Lynx's goal. Switch is going to try to clear it out all himself. Now Torque chips in on it. A flip up past midfield stripe. But a demo onto Switch is immediately going to put a damper on the Lynx's offensive ambitions. F pushes it back toward Lynx goal. No one to follow it up in center means Torque has it all to himself. Around the corner, Kuda stops him. Switch small elevation up to get one touch on it, but goes flying past it. Now F has control of it. Plays it by State. It's left up to Torque. Ball is hanging right in front of the Lynx's goal. Kuda tries to take the shot on goal as a result of that, but is going to whiff on it.
F with a nice little bicycle there, trying to keep the possession alive, but it'll be cleared away. Switch over to Torque. Great opportunity here. Ball down in front of the net. State can't quite get it below the crossbar, but Torque is going to keep it alive. State and Scythe both go up for it. It's Scythe and then F who win on it, but Switch with a nice touch. It just goes wide. Torque racing in, but his shot goes wide as well. Switch and State try and make a last-ditch effort on it, but the ball remains out of the net, and it remains 0-0.
They go chasing after the ball as it trickles back toward mid. Scythe gets it stolen away from him by Switch. Torque moves up, but F trying to set something up. State holding off on near post. Kuda whips on that follow-up. It's a breakaway shot, but they double commit on it, so they can't quite get the shot on goal that they were looking for. I think it might stay at 0-0, but F doesn't have the momentum to clear it. This is setting up beautifully for the Lynx. Oh, and a whiff on that shot, too.
Switch retreating now into the corner. Gets one touch on it. Nice. Oh, State was right there. That would have been a great clear, but couldn't quite connect on it. So it ends up being Switch who gets one touch on it. State just going to ground that ball, preventing any opportunities near his own goal. Still 0-0 here. Nearly half of Game 4 in the books. As the Lynx and Wolves battle out for that last spot in the winners' finals. Torque with a great touch on it, but F able to corral it. Torque just going to play it away from him, but F still gets a chance on it. Ball up above the net. Switch barely avoids a danger zone there.
Looked like for a split second there's an open goal, but F is able to rotate back. State trying to get a redirect. Misses on it, so it's up to Torque. Now we're down to just 2 minutes, and neither team has scored. Kuda takes shot onto the goal. It's saved by Torque. F and Scythe have to rotate back up the field. 50-50 in favor of Scythe. State plays it off the wall. Back to Kuda in mid. Kuda elevates up toward Torque. Both of them kind of missed that shot. Ball back off to the corner again. State with one touch.
He's got a second touch here as well.
Oh, the dribble!
Played around Kuda, and there he is. Torque gets credit for the goal as he gets a last-second touch. But with 90 seconds left, it's 1-0 Lynx here in Game 4.
Kickoff in favor of the Lynx, but they're going to take the time to grab some boost and now get ready to play. Torque, play off the wall. Oh, F and Scythe both miss on it, so it has to be left up to Kuda. Pass back over to F. Switch. Nice little flick up and over toward the goal, and an insurance goal scored. Back-to-back goals by the Lynx. They're now up 2-0.
Switch and Torque. Challenge them to step up, and that they did here in Game 4. It's 2-0 Lynx, and they're now 70 seconds away from advancing to the winners' finals. A chance at clinching a spot in the grand finals looks to be in their future. Can they hold off the Wolves? Again, 30 seconds of goals, a nice place to be, so the Wolves still have plenty of time to tie this game, but they need to find that first goal sooner rather than later, and a great clear and maybe a chance for a third goal for the Lynx is going to make that a bit harder. A Switch trying to get it over to Torque, who can't quite get around Scythe. State there, though, gets one touch on it, maybe looking for that third goal, but F clears it away.
Off the backboard, it's all set up. F goes flying past it, as does Scythe. Switch trying to leave it for Torque. One final goal here, not necessarily needed, but it would certainly be the final keystone for the Lynx's victory. Right now, it just looks like they're going to take more time off the timer. And a double commit wide when you don't want it from the Wolves. They miss on that one. Torque now trying to take it around. Juke out both. F is able to get the save, but I think it's too little too late with only 5 seconds left. It goes off the crossbar, and that's going to do it. Wolves lose that one, 2-0. Lynx move on to the grand finals. Well, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get inside access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. So now we have the grand finals all set up. Barracudas versus the Lynxes, or at least the winners' finals. Grand finals are next week. We need to still find out who is going to grand finals. So I think we're just going to run this back-to-back and be ready to hop into the Barracudas-Lynx game.
Yeah, this should be a really exciting series. I think State and Adrift are going to be prominent features in by both these teams. I think it's really going to come down to who slows that player down first, but man, this is going to be a tough one, as you said. One winner of this is going to punch their ticket at the grand finals, kind of going to be able to chill most of the next week, not have to sweat through the lower bracket. This is a very, very important game for both these teams. I mean, who do you think, after we've seen both these teams now play in their winners semifinals, where are you leaning as we get ready to kick off our winners final?
Well, one thing I think we got to keep in mind was just how good the Barracudas defense was when we saw them. They were lights out in the semifinals, only allowing 3 goals in 3 games. So at that point, you're only allowing the team 1 goal per game. It's pretty easy then to find your 2 goals and move on. So if Barracudas have the defense that we've seen so far from them, I give the advantage to them.
I mean, hey, the Barracudas at times struggle to find those 2 goals against the Stingrays, so it won't maybe be that easy. But yeah, I think, as you said, when you 3 goals in 3 games is absolutely wild. Here we go. Winners finals, Barracudas versus the Lynxes. Somebody is going to be in the grand final. Somebody's got to go to that lower bracket and play their way out next week. Who's it going to be as we kick off game number 1?
Barracuda. Oh, my goodness.
Well, there's your first goal.
Yep, there is the first goal by Lynxes. That great defense that we've been seeing from the Barracudas is going to have to wait a little bit longer as they find themselves on the back foot. Lynx, early lead.
All right, that's your 1 goal that you're going to get, Lynx. At least that's what it felt like. So can you play great defense for the next 4.5 minutes? That is a tough task for anybody, as Adrift's going to get the ball right in front of the net, but a great save by the crossbar in State. Going to push that one away and keep the Lynx in the lead for now, but the Barracudas still have possession until Switch rips it away.
It's going to be set up in front of the Barracudas goal again, and dangerous situation for the Barracudas, but an open goal was left by the Lynxes, and Barracudas find an equalizer off it.
All right, now the Lynx not in the spot you wanted to be. You scored a goal and you've already given one up. State now racing up the field, trying to set up his teammates. There's an open chance for Switch. It goes wide. Follow-up not quite hard enough. And the Barracudas survive. Another great chance by the Lynx and a demo on to State. This could be trouble as Yags hits a straight shot, but it's turned away.
Adrift is going to leave it for Yags. Yags doesn't have anyone to pass to, so State takes it away from him. Forces it back toward Barracuda's goal. Adrift gets demoed in the process. Yags plays off the wall, leaves it for X13. Adrift off of the respawn, trying to play it under or over State, and he does.
Adrift absolutely willing his team, at least in game one, to these grand finals. 2 goals, both in his name, and it's already 2-1 Barracudas. X13, pass over to Adrift, give him the hat trick in 90 seconds. It's 3-1 Barracudas already.
Off of that initial kickoff goal, it's been all Barracudas thus far. Torque doesn't have anyone to pass to. X13 takes it away. He and Adrift both caught in the same quadrant, though, is going to make it hard for anyone to follow up on that centering. Switch and State also bumping into each other. A little bit of clunkiness right now. Torque takes it to the corner. Yags takes it away from him. Shot on goal towards Switch. Switch needs to find his clear. He's going to Torque, moving up the field. Tries to demo and clear out the goal, but he gets demoed himself.
Ooh, State, nice intercept there on X13. Oh, the shot off the crossbar. He had it wide open. And that's another opportunity missed for the Lynx. They've had a couple of those so far in this game. Number 1, Torque going to play it off the wall. Switch was there, but the ball just didn't get to him in time, though he does nearly win a 1-on-3. X13 ends up playing that ball above Drift. The Barracudas lose out on a great opportunity, but they still hold on to this lead as we're halfway through game number 1 of our winners finals.
Drift plays it above State, and ball just trickles past a bunch of people. Kind of a fluke goal, if you will, but I am sure that the Barracudas will take it. Now that gives them quite a cushion to work with.
And these missed opportunities for the Lynxes, it feels like 2 or 3 goals have really started to eat away at them. See Torque trying to get that ball over to State. Can't quite find it. Yags with the back pass over to X13. Long clear down. X13 going to try and take it himself, and he does get a great touch on it around State. But he doesn't really have a follow-up, though. So Yags, Torque both going to collide on the ball. And unfortunately for the Barracudas, they just cannot find it clear right now.
Switch past the midfield stripe. Centered up to Adrift. Yags now making the play. Trying to push it into the goal, and it's going to be stopped by Torque 2 right in front of the Lynx's goal. But still, Barracuda's making more shots on goal. I mean, look at the differential between them and the Lynxes in terms of shots on goal. It is 9-4 so far.
And Barracudas, I mean, again, you talked about this. Their defense is not going to allow you many chances. If you're the Lynx, you got to have about a 60-70% conversion rate on your shots. They all push forward, and Adrift going to take this one into the corner, going to get that full boost. And Torque able to make a nice save on it. 60 seconds left, and the Lynx just trying to find something that'll work for the rest of this series. Maybe try and find a goal, get something off the kickoff. The Switch just overhits that ball, so it spikes into the ground.
State spiking it down to the ground around the corner. No follow-up, however. In fact, Barracudas just surrounded that ball. Pushed it back over toward the Lynxes. X13 trying to play off the wall, but misjudges the angle. Adrift is going to rotate back to play goalie. He's able to get the touch on it. X13, oh, double commit on there. Leaves the Lynxes short in defense, but they're going to get away with it.
20 seconds left. State trying to put a goal in, give his team some momentum heading into game number 2. The Barracudas are going to have none of that. They'll clear it down once again. X13 trying to play it off the ceiling, but he slams it up, and it comes crashing back down. State just misses a great pass. He had Torque racing to the other side of the field. 3 seconds left, and that'll do it for game number 1. The Barracudas will claim it and get one step closer. Again, the trend holds. Only 1 goal allowed for the 4th straight game for the Barracudas.
Yeah, we'll see if they can keep that, I don't want to call it a winning streak, but a defensive streak up as it would be. Of course, as the game has gone on, you know, we started off the night with 2 3-0 sweeps, then it's gone to a 4 game. So as the stakes have risen, the teams have gotten more evenly matched. I don't know if you can necessarily count on sweeps anymore.
I mean, right now, the first thing the Lynx have got to worry about is trying to find a way to get a second goal, because that Barracudas offense clearly not going to be limited to 0 goals. As you said, they took 9 shots on net, and I think they maybe even called off the Dogs a little bit in the air and just played some time control. So it's going to be tough for the Lynx. I mean, they've got to find a way to break that defensive streak. As Switch has got a chance off the kickoff, but he can't quite find it. If you can't score more than 1 goal, it's going to be tough to win Rocket League games, and that's what the Lynx have got to figure out how to do right now as State gets denied by Yags.
Yags up the field. Flick over to the side, leaves it for Adrift. Beautifully played. Open goal. Barracuda's first goal.
Well, if history is saying anything there, we're heading to overtime already. A best case scenario for the Lynx is, again, 1 goal allowed per game in their first 4 matches. We'll see if the Lynx can snap that as they're trying to find a way to get this ball in front of the net. Adrift, scary play there, but a great recovery and a great clear. And now it's a chance. It's Torque racing back. X13 trying to get it past them, but Switch there to make a great save.
Yags gets a shot, but it's very high up in the air. In fact, the ball has a lot of verticality. It's going to make it difficult for anyone to get a shot on goal. The ball just has to settle down in mid. Now Yags tries to make his play. Switch is demoed. In fact, Lynx is a bit short on boost there for a second, so they all had to rotate back to get some. Now that they have it, they're ready to make their play. Yags goes passing by on that ball. But now he has control of it, moving it towards center. Adrift, staying open for the redirect. I'm not quite sure how that play was going to turn out. 2 demos onto the Lynxes as well.
Switch doing a great job in the 1v3, buying the time for his team. Torque and State able to come back, so the double elimination not quite able to make anything happen as Adrift trying to get that ball over to Yags. Oh, they wanted the give and go, but the ball was just above Adrift. Switch trying to clear this one away. Can't quite get a touch on it. State over to Torque, but a nice intercept by X13. The Lynx just cannot find a way to get this ball away from the Barracudas at all right now.
Adrift off the wall to set it up for Yags. Not getting it. Off the wall, Adrift plays again, but Yags isn't there in mid soon enough to be able to play off. Torque, redirect back toward the goal. Now we're about halfway through this match, and Barracuda's only with 1 goal. Make that a goal possibly for the Lynx. The equalizer barely denied by Barracudas.
And this is why this defense has only allowed 1 goal a game. That was for sure a goal. I think everybody expected it. But in the end, nobody finds the back of the net. Torque making a nice little save there as well. 3 minutes gone by in game 2. Winners finals here between the Barracudas and Lynx. Somebody gets a spot in the grand finals, and right now the Barracudas feel like they are in the driver's seat, though they have not been able to find a second goal despite all of these chances. As State with a nice save away from X13 does get bumped out of the way. And again, Torque going to have to find a clear, and he'll do just that, but it's right back to Adrift and company.
Set up for Torque. Place off the front post again. Another bounce off the post. Drift slow playing this. Pass over to X13. It's aimed toward the goal and a save by Switch. Keeps the Lynxes from getting scored 2-0.
X13, nice touch there. Less than 90 seconds left, and the Barracudas are more than content to just simply play keep away, though they'd love another goal as they try and go over to Yags to Adrift. But Adrift was just in front of that ball. They'll both retreat. State has switched near midfield, but fortunately going to give possession over to Yags. Can't quite steal away from X13. Adrift above the net. But it's turned away by a Switch, and a great opportunity potentially for the Lynx, but Yags just simply stops that in its tracks.
All of the Barracudas are just holding back very defensively. Risky to try to just ride a 1-goal lead to victory. X13 filling up on boost, just gets a slight touch on it, enough to deflect it off that shot on goal, but State gets the State gets the equalizer, and now Lynx have tied it 1-1.
A blessing and a curse that you give up 1 goal a game. Because right now it's all of a sudden a tie game, and just like that, the Lynx score their second goal. They break their streak, and they're 27 seconds away from tying the series.
Yags leaving it for a drift. Another equalizer. Okay, we're tied back 2-2 with 22. It's twos across the scoreboard. 2-2 with 22 left.
30 seconds a goal. That was 3 goals in about 10 seconds. And now the question will be, can anybody find the go-ahead goal in regulation, or are we destined for overtime? 10 seconds left. Switch trying to corral this ball. Finally does. Yags can't quite get the steal. Last chance here. Torque racing in! And with 1 second left, I think the Lynx have sent the series to a 1-1 tie unless something crazy happens off this kickoff.
Nope, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. If anything, it's going back toward the Barracudas' goal. Just one grounding shot from the Lynxes is going to do it and tie it up 1 apiece. But maybe a drift. I see what he's trying to do, but that's a good shot by Torque. That's going to be hard to answer. X13 keeps it up in the air.
Oh.
Still airborne. One spike from Switch, but X13 didn't have anyone to pass it to, so it hits the ground. Yeah, I think what happened to the Barracudas there was the bad case of bronchitis that we were talking about a little bit earlier, just allergic to the red zone, and it seemed like the Barracudas, whenever they got in that area, were just fumbling it back and forth. Seemed like they tried the strategy about, with 2 minutes left on the clock to just ride a 1-goal lead to victory, and that's just way too risky for my taste.
Yeah, really in any game, I think the moment you try and call up the dogs, if you will, say, all right, we'll just play time control, we'll just play keep away, we have the lead. Anytime you take your foot off the gas, no pun intended, bad things are going to happen because you're no longer playing to score. You're playing, okay, we don't need to score here. Let's just keep the ball away, and we saw it there. I mean, those last 30 seconds were absolutely crazy. I don't think anyone predicted we were going to see 4 goals in the last 30 seconds. So an absolute phenomenal job by both these teams, and maybe the Lynx starting to figure things out, though. I'm going to say taking 4.5 minutes a game to score 1 goal and then trying to hope they'll all come in a flood. I don't think that's a plan you can bank on either. We kick off game 3, and we'll see which team gets on match point here and is 1 game away from our grand finals. Is Adrift trying to set something up, but he can't quite figure it out.
Both teams having stuff in the last game they would probably rather forget. They'll try to start fresh in game 3 as Adrift is chasing the ball around both corners for the Barracudas. Now a demo onto X13. That's going to make it hard for the Barracudas to follow up on that offense, and the ball goes back past the midfield mark. Lynx is now putting pressure on the Barracudas.
Drift going to pop that one up in the air. Switch, though, now has a chance. Looking to get that ball over to State, but he can't quite do it. Adrift and X13 kind of collide, but they do. Oh, thought they got that ball over to Yags, but it just missed clipping his front fender. And that's a great opportunity missed there for the Barracudas here in game 3, though. Adrift trying to keep the pressure on. His shot, though, goes quite wide of the net.
All 3 of the Lynxes were also caught up in the same quadrant. Bit of positioning woes for the Lynxes as they're trying to defend. It looks also a double commit from the Barracudas. Yags deflect off to the side, but answered back quickly by Switch. Another save has to go through from X13.
Ooh, nice.
Demo onto State, clearing out the goal, but it still doesn't go in.
I don't think Yags was ready for that rebound as he had what would have been an open net. Now trying to get a touch on it. Can't quite get it around State, though. As Yags looking for a back pass. Unfortunately, nobody, as Adrift is back playing defense. So Yags will kind of give that ball away to the Lynx. Their shot, though, does go wide. Ball bouncing up in midfield. Yags will get a touch on it, though Torque should be able to respond here. Never mind, Adrift racing in there, gets a great clear, but now launch back across. Nice save for the Barracudas.
X13 shot way over. But it's a straight shot, which means the Lynx can answer it back. Pass over to State in the corner. Back toward mid. Yags is chasing after it. Meanwhile, Torque looking to contest with him. Spike down, leaving it for Switch now. Oh, Torque and Switch caught in the same area. Now State has to move in. Some odd positioning there. Throws away that opportunity the Lynx had. Now we're about halfway through the game, tied back at a 0-0 score.
Both teams' defenses have been really strong so far in this game. Only a total of 5 shots between the two sides. We'll see if State can change that. Gets it around 1, but a drift is right there. Yags trying to get down to a drift. It's high off the net, and unfortunately State going to dribble that one into his own side. Yags gets credit, and it's 1-0 Barracudas here in game number 3.
As we saw last game, a 1-goal lead is nothing to rest on, so Adrift just decides off the bat to get the 2-goal lead and not fool around at all.
Drift says, hold on here, I'll make sure there's no crazy comebacks. 2-0 Barracudas, and now we'll see the Lynx. As I said, you can't just wait to the final 30 seconds to score all your goals. They need something here. As Adrift couldn't quite get that one over to Yags, so X13 in the area. Switch ends up picking on the ball, though, plays it off the wall around one member of the Barracudas. Risky back pass there, and Torque has the Lynx within 1.
I saw the idea there, and he was in a rough position, but that back pass ultimately proven an Achilles heel. Switch taking an unexpected shot off kickoff. Barracudas are able to recover, but now they're down back to that problematic 1-goal lead.
Oh, Yags has a great opportunity. X13 trying to play that rebound, couldn't quite do it. And now State has possession. Adrift with just a great dunk right over him. Demos flying left and right from both these teams as State now maybe got a chance for a 1v1. Switch going to play it around Adrift. X13 lone member of defense, but he makes a great play to clear that ball away from the net as the Barracudas look for that insurance goal. Nice play off the back wall there to give his team some space.
50 between Yags and Switch. Yags gets there before Switch can. Demo on to Torque. Thanks to some quick play by State, though, they are able to keep their defense going. Hold it to just one. Oh, no, Barracudas rotated up too far, and they pay for it. We're tied again.
Great job by Switch. The Barracudas pressing a little bit too hard with the lead. Now we had an explosive last minute in game 2. Do we have another one of those in store here in game 3 as the Yags over to X13? Liked the idea, just couldn't quite finish on the execution. Adrift gets that ball over to Yags. Wanted the give and go. Instead, it's over to X13. The net's wide open, but the crossbar has other ideas. And Yags couldn't finish it. Another great opportunity for the Barracudas just missed, and now they got to be careful. Is Torque going to play that off the wall, trying to get it over to State. Shot on the net. It's wide. The follow-up rolls in, and the Lynx have the lead.
The Barracudas started off with a 2-goal lead, but anything short of 3 goals, it seems the Lynxes are able to beat back as they sure come alive in the last minute of the game. Adrift trying to set it up. X13 takes the shot, but is late on it. The ball heads over to the side. Now Lynxes putting themselves in match point positions, which is going to get demoed. Last-minute steal attempt by Barracudas. So another demo gets brought out. Switch and State were both demoed, but now that they've respawned, they're going to be able to ground it and put the Lynxes to a 2 match point. Well, the Barracudas swept the Stingrays and put the field on notice that this might be the best team in the league, but I don't know if we're seeing the same Barracudas that we saw earlier on. It just seems things are evading them right now.
I think it really, gives more credit to the Lynx and how well they adapted. I mean, after game 1 where it was a blowout, it looked like, okay, the Barracudas are just simply going to cruise to the grand final. I think the Lynx deserve a ton of credit for adapting. They're playing better defense, and they're really never giving up on the play. I mean, it was 2-0. We thought the Barracudas were chilling. Instead, we're going to game 4 with the Lynx on match point. Can they get it done? Or will we have our first game 5 of the night, and it'd be no more fitting than to have it in the winners finals and our final match of the night here in this Rocket League Rumble.
Switch pelts a shot onto the goal. X13 is able to save. Adrift over to X13. Demo onto Torque. Yags has an opportunity along with Adrift. Tries to push it off into the corner. X13 follow-up. Torque respawns and is able to push it off to the corner before any more attempts can be made by the Barracudas.
Switch and X13 battling for it. X13 corrals it, puts it in front for Yags, but that play just has not been working for the Barracudas. The more passes they've tried, the less success they've had in these goal opportunities. And now State and company looking to score first. Over to Torque, takes a shot, but Yags with a great save. Switch with the follow-up, and the Lynx strike first.
Well, okay. Lynxes now with that 1-goal lead. We'll see if the Barracudas can kind of do what the Lynxes have been doing the last 2 games and just mount an amazing comeback. X13 is going to try to start it off. Ball's way up high, and where's the goalies right now? There they are. Switch rotates back. State taking it all the way over a drift toward the goal. That was amazing.
Not only do the Lynx have the lead in Game 4, they have a 2-goal lead. 3 minutes and 50 seconds separates them from the grand finals. Can the Barracudas, who are on the back foot, turn things around? A drift off the back wall. Yags can't quite corral it. And the Barracudas miss another opportunity.
Switch moves up around the corner. State tries to follow up. 2-goal lead for the Lynxes, but the Barracudas can make something happen right now, but Torque blocks them.
State, nice clear there. 3 minutes left here for the Lynx. Switch, and State there trying to combine to slam that ball together. Now a drift in a 1-on-3. Doesn't even come close to the back of the net. And the Lynx have a chance to extend this lead even further.
Oh, ooh. Bounce up into the crossbar. That was almost the 3rd goal for the Lynxes. And Adrift recovers to be able to save it back to back. Oh, a bit of clunkiness in team coordination there. Means the Barracudas automatically lose that offensive drive they had.
Oh, a drift. Great chance here. It hits off the crossbar, though, and slowly but surely the Barracudas are running out of time as Yag's going to try and keep this one alive. He's got X13 behind him, going to center it up, but a drift wasn't there fast enough, and it's an opportunity that the Barracudas cannot afford to make mistakes on. A drift in front of the net, but again, nobody there for the follow-up as there's 2 minutes left here in Game 4.
Switch plays it above 2 Barracudas. Pop from X13. Driving it back. Torque and Switch fumble that one. Ooh, that was almost a goal scored by the Barracudas. Lynxes can't make defensive mistakes like that, especially with a shot on goal like that, and Barracudas are now just 1 away.
2-1. The Barracudas, for the first time all night, are the team chasing. And we will see if they could get it done. A drift. Great chance here, stolen away by State. Yag's going to retreat up in the air over to X13, trying to center it to a drift, and they all miss on it. Great opportunity, and they can't quite find it. And the Lynx now have a chance to build this lead and get the insurance goal they need, but they overcommitted, and it's 2-2.
Because why would it turn out any other way? Seems like for this past game, if team gets in the lead, they've had very much a struggle holding it. And off this next kickoff, Barracudas are going to demo State. 50 between Switch and X13. Doesn't really go for either one. The Drift tries to move it up the field, back toward mid. 1 minute left now, tied 2 apiece. Barracudas needing to win this game to hang on to life and move on to Game 5. A Drift with a straight shot answered back by Torque. Now tags, knocks it back.
Oh, it's a great chance for the Barracudas, but it's cleared away. A drift. Wants to play this one off the sidewall. Pops it over to Yags, but just can't quite get it to him. 30 seconds left here. Switch loses possession. That's going to go right over to X13. A drift is there, and he's got a great chance to carry this one and maybe make it a Game 5, but he can't find it. 18 seconds. X13 trying to hold possession, so the Barracudas get one last chance. It's up to Yags. He's got a drift over on the right side. A drift with the fantastic touch. It's going to waterfall down, and X13 is going to send us, I think, to a Game 5.
Game 5 on tap. Unless the Lynx can have the kickoff of their life here, and State making it seem that way, but after that initial few seconds of excitement, yeah, Barracudas are going to take this. And we are going to a Game 5 to decide it, and who will be moving on to the Grand Finals.
Wow. I don't think anyone could have expected how this series would have gone. Game 1 made it look like this was going to be an easy Barracuda sweep. Game 2 and 3, all of a sudden in the start of the first 2.5 minutes of Game 4, everyone would have said this is the Lynx all the way, and instead, where we find ourselves, Game 5, winners, finals. If we're going to ask for our first Game 5 of the night, though, winners, finals is the best place to have it.
I would agree there. It's got to hurt for the Lynx because they were close to getting their third goal.
Yeah.
And it seems the opportunities where they were scored on were just them making some elementary mistakes. And you hate having goals scored on you in that way. I mean, you're 2-0 in the lead. You don't need to be taken, you don't need to be overextending yourself.
Yeah, the wide open goal when they had the 2-1 lead may come back to haunt the Lynx. Game 5, winner take all, moves on to the Grand Finals. The loser will be in the lower bracket, though they'll only have to win one game in the lower finals, but that's not the spot you want to be in. As Adrift racing back and making sure the Barracudas don't leave their net wide open.
Ooh. Bit of fancy footwork. Torque now pushing it back toward Barracudas. Ping-ponged back over to Lynxes. Torque sees his opportunity, but the ball is just a bit too wide by the time he gets to it. The first minute passing, neither team scores.
Switch over
Double
to
commit.
Drift. He's able to make the save in Game 5. You've got a triple commit to keep the ball out of the back of the net. You'll do it. Is it X13 and Yags trying to slow down Switch? X13, a risky little bump in front of his own net. And they are able to keep it away. Torque rips a shot. It hits the crossbar. State with the follow-up, and the Lynx strike first in Game 5.
Next kickoff ready to go. It's State that's able to buy a little bit of time for Lynx to fill up on boost. They're able to take it away from Adrift. State redirect toward the goal. It's off toward the back post, and all the boost expended in an instant for the Lynxes. But they still manage to keep side control and, in fact, get a shot on goal thanks to Swish. It bounces off of Yags for the save. And they're not allowing the counterattack from Barracudas to go through. X13 trying to make it toward the ball, just barely does. And off it goes back toward Lynx's goal.
Oh, X13 nearly snuck that one in. And now plays it all the way back to his own end. Very risky there. Somehow still has possession. Basically just doing a practice drill at this point. Takes a shot. It's wide. The ball caroms all the way back to the orange side. Adrift gets a touch on it. Switch. Nice shot over to Torque, who pops it up in the air. But unfortunately, no real follow-up here for the Lynx, so they're going to have to cling to their one-goal lead as State just misses, and there's no follow-up.
Demo to Torque. Switch puts a shot that's wide off to the corner. Torque respawns. Demo onto State now. Torque has to defend. He's going to be able to get a shot back toward mid, but it's easy. Oh, Yags misses on that. It's just what the Lynxes needed to get back up to full strength.
Oh, Switch, he hit the crossbar. What could have been, because it's a wide open goal on the other side, but Yags misses it. A pair of goals absolutely thrown away by both teams, and Adrift capitalizes, and with less than 2 minutes left, it's 1-1.
2 minutes left, tied one apiece, and Adrift. Shot is wide off to the corner. Goes State. Off the two walls. X13 trying to get a touch on it. He'll leave it for Adrift. State sets it up, but the ball's back just a little bit too far for the Lynxes. Now they're all going to go chasing after it. Yags moving up the field. Back pass toward his own goal, actually. They're going to take it high in front of their own goal. Lynx is just waiting for the play to unfold. Are able to stop the clear. Double commit. Yags trying to leave it up. Lynxes were just really biding their time there as the Barracudas haven't really been able to clear it to save their lives.
Yeah, for all those double commits, I never even saw a Lynx player on the screen.
You're just trying to
now it's Game 5, final 60 seconds. Nerves are high. You don't want to be the player who makes the mistake that sends you to the lower bracket next week. Is X13 going to rip a shot, and he puts it home, and the Barracudas have the lead. Take slumping out of your name, my man, because you have just put your team in front in Game 5.
X13 takes the play. Double touch over to a drift. Off into the corner. Less than a minute for the equalizer to be found by Lynx. State elevates up, off to the side. Here goes Yags. State is left in front of the goal, trying to read it. Is able to get the save.
The Lynx need offense, though. They don't need defense, unfortunately. You can save all the shots you want, but if you don't find one more goal, you're going to the lower bracket anyway. 15 seconds left. State can't quite get to it. Over to a drift. This could be the insurance goal they need. It wasn't pretty. But Yags has pretty much sealed the Barracuda spot in next week's grand finals.
All right, I think I've seen enough for today. Barracudas. State tries to make something happen off the kickoff, but I believe we are done for the night. Barracudas, by the skin of their teeth, moving on to the grand finals. But I will almost say just barely doing so, because it was tied until the very last moment. And, wow. Well, overall, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly at Esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights. With our featured Rumbles, recruiters are taking notice, too. It's a great way to score your path pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Well, this time, Fish, I think we're running a bit short on time, so I'm going to wrap things up pretty quickly, I think. But do you very quickly have any players of the game you want to shout out?
Oh, that's good. I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, especially with the two teams we just saw. I mean, it's probably got to be either Adrift or State, if I had to guess what of the two. They took their teams the farthest. I know Adrift's team got the edge in the end, but either one of those players, I think, very well deserving of our player of the game tonight.
Yeah, it could be either one. I would say I probably prefer giving it over to the Lynx, because even though the Barracudas won, it felt like they were their own worst enemy at a good amount of times. I mean, when you have no one in your side of the field and yet you're all fumbling, double committing, trying to save it, there are things that need to be improved. But it ultimately is going to be given over toward State for player of the game.
Yeah, State was phenomenal. A big reason why the Lynx were even in a position to potentially win this series, potentially make it to the grand finals. Played his heart out in really both series. Against the Wolves, had a great performance, and then against the Barracudas, had a phenomenal performance offensively and defensively. Big congrats to him on being the player of the game.
Player of the Game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like how Idaho Central helps its members achieve financial success. State is going to be your player of the game, and this is kind of what I was talking about. Look at the bunching up around that goal for the Barracudas. I mean, is what allowed plays like this to be made by State, just playing around all of them. I think the Lynxes, even though they moved down to the lower bracket, are definitely going to be a force to be afraid of. Well, congratulations to all of our teams for a fantastic night of Rocket League. The Barracudas move on to the grand finals. Everyone else has to fight it out in the lower bracket. Who is going to claim the title next week? We'll make sure to join us next Wednesday to find out. But for now, we'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. We'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, and join us next week for more Esports Tower Rumbles.